Now I am going to tell you how to solve the problem when beam is subjected to the torsion, combined effect of a torsion, bending and shear. Basically, what is the design of beam? Design of beam nothing but you have to find out the all dimensions of beam, you have to find out the width of beam, you have to find out the depth of beam, and finally calculate the reinforcement in the beam. That's it. So when beam is subjected to torsion, what exactly you have to do? So one by one steps I am going to tell you now. Okay. So what is the required data? What is the required data to solve this type of problem? Okay. So first requirement is ultimate torsional moment. Second requirement is ultimate bending moment. Third requirement is ultimate shear force. These are these are main requirements for this type of beam. Then width of beam and generally depth of beam is known. Width of beam and depth of beam generally known. If it is unknown, you have to find out that things. Then Fy and Fck, these are the properties of a material. Stresses of material. Then what you have to calculate? Calculate longitudinal and shear reinforcement. You have to design the longitudinal and shear reinforcement using IS 456 2000 version, page number 75. So what is the first step? So step number 1, first calculate equivalent shear force, VE. Calculate equivalent shear force, VE. You know the formula, VE is equal to BU plus 1.6 TU upon B. This formula is available on page number 75. Page number 75, IS 456 2000. Find out the equivalent shear force. Okay. V is the ultimate shear force. T is the ultimate bending moment. V is the width of beam. And find out the equivalent shear force in step number 1. Step 2. Calculate equivalent shear stress. Okay. Calculate equivalent shear stress, tau VE. Okay. So tau VE is equal to VU divided by B into D. Okay. So this is the formula. Shear force divided by effective cross sectional dimension of beam. Okay. You have to calculate the equivalent shear stress of a beam using this formula. Next, then calculate permissible shear stress. Permissible shear stress in concrete. permissible shear stress in concrete tau c from table 19, page number 73, page number 73 of IS 456/2000. Calculate the permissible shear stress in concrete tau c from table number 19. For calculation of tau c, we require the percentage of steel PT. For that you have to assume initial percentage of steel. Assume initial percentage of steel PT is equal to 0.5%. Initially, you have to assume the percentage of steel PT is equal to 0.5%. Okay. By taking 0.5% steel, find out the value of tau c from table 19 and put it that value in your calculation. Okay. So this is step number 1. Step number 2. Now in step number 2, write down tau c max from table 20. On same page, from page number 75, IS 456. Okay. On same page, the tau c max is available. You have to find out that value. Please correct the page number. The page number 73. Page number 73. Okay. Now we have the three shear stresses. One is the tau VE, second is the tau C, last one is the tau C max. Okay. Now in step 3, you have to compare three shear stresses. Okay. In step 3, compare tau c max, tau VE and tau c. So in step number 2, we have calculated the tau VE, tau c max, and in step number 3 you have to compare these three stresses and what you have to decide. Okay. In that first one, when tau c max is more than tau VE is more than tau c. When tau c max more than tau VE more than tau c, shear and longitudinal reinforcement required. Shear and longitudinal reinforcement, both reinforcement required. Okay, you have to design the longitudinal reinforcement for the equivalent bending moment, and you have to design the shear reinforcement for the equivalent shear force. Okay. Then next comparison, when tau c max is more than tau c is more than tau VE. Now the permissible shear stress tau c is more than tau VE. Now permissible shear stress tau c is more than equivalent shear stress. So shear reinforcement is not required. Shear reinforcement is not required, but you have to design. But design minimum shear reinforcement. But design minimum shear reinforcement in form of stirrups. In form of stirrups with the reference of IS 456. With the reference of IS 456 2000 version, page number 48. Page number 48. That means when tau c is more than tau VE, the shear reinforcement is not required. But as per the IS provision, you have to design the minimum shear reinforcement in form of vertical stirrups with the reference of IS 456 2000 version, page number 48. But in this case, you have to design the longitudinal reinforcement also. Okay. And last, when tau VE is more than tau c max, when tau VE is more than tau c max, when tau VE is more than tau c max, so this is one of the dangerous case. So you have to redesign the section. Okay, you have to change the dimension of beam. Okay, what you have to do? So change the dimension of beam, change the size of beam, you have to change the width of section, you have to change the depth of the section. That means you have to redesign the section. Okay, or increase width of beam, or increase width of beam. Okay, by increasing width of beam, the effect of equivalent shear force reduces and the value of tau VE reduces. Okay, and finally there is shortcut. Nothing but change the grade of concrete. Change the grade of concrete. That means when tau VE is more than tau c max, you have to follow these three criteria: change the size of beam or redesign the section, increase the width of beam, okay, and change the grade of concrete. So you have to refer these points in step number 3. Now in step number 4, design of longitudinal reinforcement. Step number 4, design of longitudinal reinforcement. Design of longitudinal reinforcement. Okay, so longitudinal reinforcement is the horizontal reinforcement at bottom and top. So for design of a longitudinal reinforcement, the first requirement is bending moment. So for equivalent bending moment, you have to design the longitudinal reinforcement. So in that, first we have to find out the equivalent bending moment. Equivalent bending moment, it is ME1. Okay. In design of a longitudinal reinforcement, you have to first find out the equivalent bending moment. That is ME1 is equal to MU plus MT. ME1 is equal to MU plus MT. This formula is available on page number 75, IS 456 2000 version, IS 456 2000 version. So find out the equivalent bending moment ME1. Already the MU is in given. What is the MT? So MT is the extra bending moment. MT is the extra bending moment due to effect of torsion. Due to effect of a torsion. So how to find out the MT? So MT is equal to, we have the formula PV into 1 plus capital D by V divided by 1.7. 1 plus capital D by V divided by 1.7. Again, this formula is available on page number 75. First find out the MT. Okay. Put this value here and find out the ME1. Okay. So this is the calculation of how to find out the equivalent bending moment. Now PU is the ultimate torsional moment. It is given in question. D upon B is the dimension ratio of the beam, and you have to find out the MT. This formula is available on page number 75, IS 456 2000 version, and find out the value of ME1 and calculate the steel. Calculate longitudinal tension steel. Calculate longitudinal tension steel using formula. You know that formula. It is AST is equal to 0.5 FCK divided by Fy into bracket 1 minus under root of 1 minus 4.6 ME1 divided by FCK BD square into BD. Using this formula, find out the longitudinal reinforcement at bottom. That means it is a tension reinforcement. So use this formula. This formula is used for the under reinforced section. That means when the value of ME1, when the value of ME1 is less than MUR balance, the value of MU1 is less than MUR balance, then you find out, then you use this formula to find out the steel. So this is related to the tension steel. Now what about the compression steel? What about the compression steel? The compression steel, what about the compression steel? The compression steel is designed when numerical value of MT, exceeds the numerical value of MU. The compression steel is designed when numerical value of MT exceeds the numerical value of MU. Okay, so the compression steel is designed for the bending moment Me2. Compression steel is designed for the bending moment Me2. Okay, Me2 is equal to difference of MT and Mu. Me2 is equal to difference of this both bending moment. MT already we have calculated in previous steps. Me is the given ultimate bending moment. You take the difference and find out the Me2 and compression steel and compression steel ASC is equal to Me2 divided by FSC into D minus DC. FSC into D minus DC. Okay, FSC is the stress in compression steel. FSC is equal to stress in compression steel. Whatever we have learned in double reinforced section in previous semester, FSC is equal to stress in compression steel, for Fe250, for Fe250, for Fe250, FSC is equal to 0.87 Fy, and for Fe415 and Fe500, you have to take the value of FSC from D dash upon D ratio table. D dash upon D ratio table. Okay, you take the value of FSC from D dash upon D ratio table. Okay, so this is related to the longitudinal reinforcement. For ME1, you have to find out the bottom tension steel. For ME2, you have to find out the compression steel. Okay, now on step number 5. Design of a shear reinforcement. Step number 5, design of shear reinforcement. Design of a shear reinforcement. So we know that first we have to assume the form of shear reinforcement. Okay, so assume two-legged vertical stirrups. Assume two-legged vertical stirrups. Okay, and find out the spacing. And find out the spacing using the formula. Okay, that is ASP is equal to TU into SV divided by B1 D1 into 0.87 Fy plus VU into SV divided by 2.5 D1 into 0.87 Fy. So this formula is available on page number 75. Use this formula directly and find out the spacing. SV is the spacing and ASP is the area of one stirrup bar multiplied by legs. Okay, so second formula is ASP is equal to tau BE minus tau C, B into SV divided by 0.87 Fy, equivalent shear stress minus permissible shear stress in concrete. Okay, so SV is the spacing of the stirrups. Find out the value from these two formula. The spacing should not be more than the spacing should not be more than, as per the IS code, it's more than, should not be more than x1. Second one, x1 plus y1 by 4, and third is 300 mm. The spacing should not be more than, the spacing whatever we have calculated from these two formula, that spacing should not be more than these three criteria. So let exactly what is the B1, what is the D1. Okay, I will tell you by drawing one diagram. Okay, so this is the alignment of a reinforcement. So this is the alignment of reinforcement. So this is the compression steel. Okay, this is the tension steel. So basically this is the width of section. So center to center distance between these two reinforcement. Nothing but the B1. Okay, and center to center distance between these two reinforcement is nothing but the D1. Okay, and it is the overall depth of the section. And what is the x1y1? What is the x1y1? When we are going to provide the stirrups like this, okay, so center to center distance between these two stirrups legs, is nothing but the x1. Okay, this section. And center to center distance between these two stirrups leg, and if we are going to measure vertically, so it is y1. Center to center distance between these two stirrups leg is h1. Center to center distance between these two stirrups leg, when we are going to measure vertically, y1. So find out all the dimension, put in this formula, and calculate the spacing. Calculate the spacing. Now, what about the side face reinforcement? What about the side face reinforcement? The side face reinforcement is nothing but the reinforcement provided on sides. Reinforcement provided on sides. Okay. So when we are going to provide a reinforcement at this location, it is called a side face reinforcement. It is called a side face reinforcement. It is called a side face reinforcement. It is called side face reinforcement. When beam is subjected to torsion, when beam is subjected to torsion, and overall depth of beam is more than 450 mm. Overall depth of beam is more than 450 mm. Then side face reinforcement is provided. That is the AST side face. AST side face is equal to 0.1% of web area. 0.1% of web. Then remember 0.1 divided by 100. What is the web area? So width of the section and overall depth of the section. Okay, width of the section and overall depth of the section. You have to multiply the web area. And when beam is not subjected to torsion, when beam is not subjected to torsion, but the depth of beam is more than 750 mm. When depth of beam is more than 750 mm, then the side face reinforcement is required using as per the same criteria. That means the beam is subjected to torsion, overall depth is more than 450 mm, provide the side face reinforcement, 0.1% web area. And when beam is